13 problems only the rich face. You won't believe. 1. Spoiled children. The education of the rich is out of the ordinary. This is because they try to instill values in their children, but somehow the wealth they possess creates a chasm between their moral values and their financial stability. Many rich people fear that their children will grow up spoiled and lose sight of their purpose in life. Dear viewers, if you appreciate the video and want to help us grow, we ask you to consider the idea of subscribing to our channel and making a donation to support us. Your support is essential for us and will allow us to continue creating interesting and useful content for you. You can do it here below, through the appropriate buttons, subscribe, and thanks. A wealthy individual interviewed in a survey conducted by the Boston College's Center on Wealth and Philanthropy feared that money could spoil their children, give them a sense of superiority, and prevent them from developing a strong sense of empathy and compassion. A wealth advisor from a prominent national financial services firm stated that, according to their experience, the worst outcome for wealthy families is incompetent and dependent children. Most of them do not contribute to the growth and improvement of society and are extremely dependent on the family's enormous wealth for their own survival and that of their offspring. The vicious cycle never stops. Perhaps Warren Buffett said it best when he stated, "A very rich man should leave his children enough wealth to do anything, but not so much that they can do nothing." 2. Worrying about kidnappings. The heirs of millionaires listed in the country's richest people by Forbes magazine claim to be constantly worried about the safety of their children, who are targeted by kidnappers. Although it is undeniable that kidnappings are common among the super-rich, such as the kidnapping of Ivan Kaspersky, the son of software magnate Eugene Kaspersky, actual kidnappings are quite rare in the United States. In fact, according to FBI data, there were only 332 kidnappings of children by strangers in 2014. This does not mean there are no risks. Security experts who protect the wealthy told Financial Advisor magazine that the Facebook accounts of children can be one of the biggest security loopholes for the rich. If children post vacation photos and personal information on the internet, even the tightest security can be compromised. Criminals can easily access this information and use it to target families. 3. Friends and family may extort money. Having $1 billion practically guarantees that people will gather around you and treat you like their personal ATM. Gold diggers and deadbeat dads. True stories of friends, family, and financial ruin states that if friends and family think you have money, they are more likely to extort money from you. What they may not understand, however, is that rich people acquire and maintain their wealth through hard work and smart behavior. Additionally, if you decide to lend money, keep in mind that the transaction will likely change your personal relationship with the borrower forever. A manager who works with the wealthy said that wealth becomes a family issue when one person has much more money than another family member. Dealing with guilt and the obligation to help others can become a lifelong burden. 4. Even strangers ask for money. People will ask you for a share if they know you have a lot of money. A prominent luxury travel blogger stated that they receive terrible stories and requests for money from strangers via direct messages on Twitter. The aforementioned heiress also stated that they often receive requests for donations to everyone's favorite charity, and there is even a thread on Quora dedicated to the question, "How can I get a list of rich people who can help my struggling family?" One interviewee responded, "You can't. And you shouldn't. If you give this information to anyone, the family will be flooded with calls, letters, and visits asking for help. We can't help everyone." 5. Do their friends really appreciate them? TheDailyMail.com recently reported that in a Reddit thread, a wealthy man was asked what the disadvantages of wealth are. A gentleman from a well-off family admitted how difficult it is to have friends. Worse still, even after his family faced financial difficulties, his so-called friends disappeared. He said they abandoned him quickly because they no longer had the money to buy him drinks at bars or pay the bill at luxury restaurants. He explained how hurt he felt because he considered them his friends. He started to see them in a different light, and when his family recovered from the financial situation, his former friends returned. He told them to leave. Several interviewees in the Boston College study said they wondered how many of their friends were true friends. One in particular said they wondered how many would completely cut ties with them if they felt they could no longer get anything from them. 6. Do their spouses really love them? Imagine you are a millionaire and want to marry someone who doesn't have the same amount of money. And you want to be sure that person isn't doing it for the money. Most wealthy people interviewed in a study stated that they would trust the intentions of their spouse much more if they had married before making their fortune, rather than if they had met the person they married afterward. In fact, the threat of gold diggers is very real. A self-proclaimed opportunist told the New York Post that some people like dark hair, others like blue eyes. A blogger from Frustrated Billionaire stated that cases like these lead the super rich to constantly wonder if the common person is really with them for who they are and what they have, and that the only applicable word in this case is prenuptial agreement. 7. Wealth overshadows other characteristics. People tend to focus on wealth rather than other qualities of a person, and money tends to define who a person is. Abigail Disney, the granddaughter of Roy Disney, co-founder of the Walt Disney Company, describes her experience as a wealthy person. Abigail Disney describes her experience as a wealthy person. You know what people think of you even before they shake your hand. It's true that there is much more to a person than the money they possess, and money should not be the first thing that comes to mind when naming a person. 8. Loss of privacy if rich and famous. It's no surprise that if you are famous and rich at the same time, you lose most of your privacy. Gone are the days when you could go out to restaurants, stores, or anywhere else and minimize the chances of being seen, approached, photographed, or gossiped about. Many wealthy people have to deal with their trash being collected every week, and some have to find more discreet ways to dispose of their waste. 9. Being criticized by strangers. Regardless of what they do or don't do, wealthy people do not pass without being criticized. As soon as people find out you are rich, they usually have negative assumptions and thoughts about you. Of course, there are some stereotypes about wealthy people. People think you are superficial, greedy, power-hungry, materialistic, and unaware of what it means to be average. They may think you acquired your wealth because you were lucky, or because you cheated or exploited various loopholes. There is no doubt that some people have become rich through luck or tax evasion and other forms of fraud. Some even see your wealth as their loss, as if one person's fortune is linked to another's misfortune. 10. Susceptible to lawsuits. Where there is money, lawyers follow, and dishonest plaintiffs try to get their hands on it. Brian Clayton, CEO of the gardening services platform GreenPal and an entrepreneur who built an 8-figure business, stated that what surprised him about wealth was the litigation. The CEO said it's not fun to have a stranger popping out of the bushes once a month and saying, "You're being served." According to a survey by Prince & Associates cited by U.S. News World Report, less than 20% of those with a net worth of $1 million are concerned about being sued, while 80% of those with a net worth of $20 million or more have the same fear. Mark Cuban, a well-known entrepreneur and frequent Shark Tank participant, stated that he would refuse to invest if there was even the slightest chance of being sued. 11. Experiencing disappointment. What do you do when you already have everything you want? It is possible to obtain everything you want without having to work hard, so you may no longer have the same goals as before. The satisfaction of achieving something through your own efforts is non-existent because you did not have to desire or save for it. Buying everything you want when you want it may not bring the joy you initially expected and may leave you dissatisfied. Many people think that if they obtain millions of dollars, they will be happy and all their problems will be solved. However, this is usually not the case. In fact, those who were fundamentally unhappy before becoming rich are likely to remain so. 12. Not trusting those who manage their wealth. Wealthy people almost always hire someone to manage their portfolio, their home, or other assets. When large sums of money are at stake, some people have difficulty trusting those who manage them. A property manager in San Diego told the story of a client who had $1 million in gold coins hidden under his bed. After the man's death, his personal assistant remained in the house, but the gold coins were nowhere to be found. 13. Worrying about everything. Stock market fluctuations, the Federal Reserve and interest rates, falling real estate prices, global currencies. All of these can affect your wealth. All of these can affect your wealth. Wealthy people may not worry about true poverty, but they always feel like they are one step away from losing everything in a stock market crash. It is said that money is useless if you do not possess it. But this means that some anxieties are alleviated by money, while others remain. In the comments, share your direct experience related to the topic covered today. We want to learn more and will gladly respond to any questions. Comment to let us know how we can improve. Your like would make us happy. Do not forget to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next video.